In this video, I would like to talk about an example. Look at the United Nations. Look, for example, what they did against Adolf Hitler. And look what they did as well when it's come to South Africa. They said Adolf Hitler have occupied other countries. South Africa is for the African, and those white went there and did whatever. There wasn't slavery and apartheid, I don't know how to mention it. Germany, Berlin, when it was two cities and then they broke it and become one city. The Eastern was communist and the Western was capitalist, democratic, whatever. Now, since 1948 and what's before it as well, the United Nations looked and watched all of this crime happening in the Holy Land. They didn't do anything in comparison to what they did to something far less crime in comparison to what happened in the Holy Land. I mean, yes, Europe, it was an empire. They are European between each other. In South Africa, it is a fact that they brought some civilization methods. But in the Holy Land, there was definitely a civilization. Farmers, traders, and it was a wonderful place. Now they allowed this to happen. They looked at those who are calling themselves Jews, supported by the West. They watched them while they are raping the right of the natives in Holy Land, among them real Israelis, stealing their farms, kicking them from their villages, massacring them. They looked at it and they didn't do anything. The League of Nations they call it. They just didn't do anything. Look what's happening right now. Now, additional to this introduction, I need this introduction to say it, to start with my example. Imagine a group like Jahovawitnesses. Jahovawitnesses, Yahweh Witnesses, Shuhada Yahweh, is a group that recognizes itself as the real true Christian who represent Christianity. This group was established mainly in the beginning by the Gog and Magog. Someone called Joseph, I think he was killed in South America. And I have nothing against them. They are lovely people. As a matter of fact, I respect them because they are doing their best to comply with what's in the Bible. Now, this is not my point. My point is, I need to move because the wind will not make you able to listen. So it's one of the groups that was established within the Gog and Magog people. Joseph is an European who established it. Well, definitely they are wonderful in comparison to the so-called Christian who consider the cross their figure, and in many aspects. I have no time to explain about it. I have explained in my channel. Imagine Jehovah's Witnesses would come and say, we are Yahweh Witnesses. We are calling his name Yahweh, who he will be. This is wrong. This is false teaching. But regardless, but they are good in comparison to others. We are the witnesses of Yahweh. So you need to explain about religion. Because you remember 2015? I have explained about my right. It's not only no one listened. You destroyed our rights there in the Ishmaelian territory more and more. Imagine Jehovah's Witnesses, now let's turn back to the example, would say Yahweh is a name that was recognized at the time of Moses. Moses took it by God and it was renewed. It was not the first by Moses, by the way. It was by the Israelite who will be, the one will be. There's another. It should be explained in a different. Through the I am the one who will be with among you. He was with Jacob as a Yahweh way, generational message, not regardless, within regard of this. They say we are Yahweh witnesses. Good job, fine. Not good job, fine. In comparison to others, good job. Imagine if they say, now this is the problem. You want to call them cult, you want to call them whatever you want. If they say the problem, if they do it, imagine if they say, we belong to the Holy Land, because Yahweh belonged to the Israelites. The Israelites used to live in the Holy Land. A reformation by the devil will be called Jehovah's Witnesses. A support by the West, establishment of the so-called Yahweh Witnesses state. Imagine that Joseph picture is in the place of Hensel. Listen to me carefully here. Rather than Hensel, well, definitely he is complying with the Talmud and other books. And other books which they relate to Judea. His daughter committed suicide. God knows what happened to them so that they would commit suicide. I'm not doing any accusation. Don't delete my video. You deleted it before. So I'm repeating this video. I had same video before. Maybe 2 years. The same point. Hensel, take his picture, but Joseph. Or a figure for Joseph or whatever. Not Jehovah's Witnesses. Oh my God. Not Joseph. His name is not Joseph. He's in America, not in South America. Oh my God, I forget his name. I apologize. He was in the United States of America. Forgive me. He was in the United States of America. This is the Mormons in Joseph. He was in the United States of America. No, the United States of America, the one who established Jehovah's Witnesses, and they said that he will be at the final times. They will rise at the final. Of course, this group is the Islamic group that was renewed by Muhammad, the final messenger. The man in the United States of America, that he is the one. Fine. Imagine if they take Hensel's picture and they put what? And they what? They put this gentleman, I forget it, go and ask Jehovah's Witnesses and tell them who is the first, the person who was a so-called Christian, I don't know, Protestant, then he become a so-called Christian. I'm not giving an exact details. Who established the Jehovah's Witnesses. He died at his 50s, I think, I don't know. Exactly at the beginning of World War I, I think, I'm not sure. Imagine if this picture at 1948 is there in a country in our Holy Land occupied, and they would call it the so-called Yahweh and Witness, Jehovah's Witness state, and they put his picture. And people who are Jehovah's Witnesses, calling themselves so-called Jehovah's Witnesses, calling themselves Jehovah's Witnesses, coming from Europe, coming from Africa, coming from Iran. I'm just giving an example. Coming from China, and they are saying we are the Jehovah's Witnesses and we have the right to stay in the Holy Land. And for us to stay in the Holy Land, we need to kill and rape the right and kick out all of the natives in Holy Land, who among them the real Israelis. Is this a crime or not? Is this a crime? Trust me, I can go to the so-called chat and give you the so-called so-called Buddhist. I can give you. But now this is the main issue. This is the biggest virus. The occupation of the Holy Land. Is this a crime or not? Definitely, if you're a human being who deserves to be treated as a human being, you would say, yes, it is. Then why the whole world is looking at this so-called Israeli state and keeping his mouth silent, except those who are screaming in the streets? Oh, there is some leaders, few, who Erdogan. Everyone hates him, except the good ones. Hate him the West, starting from the West. Why we're allowing this to happen? Go to the places of the so-called Israeli, you will find farms and fields. To a so-called Israeli from Europe, Ashkenazis, from the West, from Holland, from Poland, why you are here? And the Palestinians are crying, saying, this used to be our grandfather. Is this acceptable in the 20th centuries? 20th century, this is the 20th century. And no legitimacy when it's come to the real Yahudian way. No legitimacy when it's come to the instruction of God. Even when it's come to the root of the people who are there. This is the 20th century. Is this normal? Are you normal enough to recognize what I'm trying to say? Or you just deserve this curse in this life and definitely in the hereafter? Problem, huh? It's a big problem. See, it's everything is connected to each other. Everything. My personal, I don't care if you can consider it a case of unjust or not. I had a personal case, a case of unjust, and everything is connected to each other. And I asked God, what is the meaning of the name Ishmael? Allah will hear, and I am calling. Not your business to say, call as much as you want. Say that, no, you return back and back off. You give me my right. You become human or deal with it. Deal with it and keep your mouth shut. About Islam and about Arabs, and be human enough, you demons. Don't delete my video, please. I'm a rough sleeper, homeless. They're enjoying it. They want it. Not all. I'm talking about certain. They are enjoying what's happening, and they understand that this is consuming my health, my psychological status, and they're happy with it. Please, in YouTube, be human enough. I'm sure you're human. Don't delete this video. Thank you.